It is a freezing Friday night in 1974. The crisp air outside your car window smells heavily of exhaust fumes, mixed with the unmistakable, mouth-watering scent of charred onions sizzling on a flat-top grill at 2 in the morning. You pull your heavy steel car into the buzzing parking lot of Manner's Big Boy on Lakeshore Boulevard. You reach over to roll down your manual window, letting the biting Lake Erie wind rush in just long enough to grab a heavy plastic tray of double-decker burgers from the smiling car hop. That humming neon sign towering above the lot was not just an advertisement. It was a beacon for the entire community. Today, if you drive through those exact same intersections across Northeast Ohio, that warm neon glow is completely gone. You will likely only find the sterile, blinding white lights of a chain pharmacy, or worse, an empty expanse of cracked asphalt. Before the world shrank into the glowing screens of mobile devices, these bustling drive-in restaurants were the beating heart of our neighborhoods. How did a vibrant late-night ritual, an entire culinary empire that fed our youth, evaporate completely from the American landscape without leaving a single trace behind? In the next few minutes, we are not just going to read down a dry list of 15 forgotten restaurant names. We are going to actually step back into that glorious decade. We will untie the white string on that familiar blue and white box from Hope Bakery and smell the sweet streusel coffee cake one more time. We will taste the cold, sharp bite of a 7-cent birch beer and feel the sticky vinyl of the booth seats against our skin. This journey is about reclaiming the true heartbeat of 1970s Cleveland, right before it was swallowed whole by soulless corporate chains. I am willing to bet that very few people can truly remember every single one of these 15 local legends. But if you grew up here, these places were the very backdrop of your youth. Let us see how many of these hidden memories you can unlock. To truly understand the magic of these places, we have to remember the exact world we were living in. Back then, Cleveland and the entire surrounding Rust Belt region was a booming powerhouse of working-class pride. Fast food was not just an everyday convenience or a rushed meal eaten behind the steering wheel. It was a genuine reward. It was a Friday night celebration after a long week of grueling shift work at the local auto plants or steel mills. Because of our massive population of blue-collar families, Northeast Ohio actually became the ultimate testing ground for some of the biggest restaurant empires in the entire country. Long before those generic corporate logos completely took over the world, our street corners were dominated by an entirely different set of kings. Think about driving down any major road and then seeing those unmistakable, bright red barn-shaped buildings towering against the gray Ohio sky. Red Barn was an absolute staple of our childhoods. Long before any other major brand thought of the concept, Red Barn introduced the very first self-serve salad bar to families across our state. If you were a kid in those days, you were likely begging your parents to take you there just to get your hands on the hamburger-hungry trio mascots. But Red Barn was not the only giant competing for our hard-earned weekend dollars. Burger Chef was arguably at the absolute peak of its power during this decade. They completely understood exactly what children wanted. They created the famous Fun Meal, complete with puzzles and toys, years before a McDonald's Happy Meal ever existed. We felt incredibly special, getting our own designated cardboard box of food, while our parents could finally sit back, relax, and enjoy a freshly flame-broiled burger. Then there was the undeniable presence of Gino's Hamburgers. Founded by Football Hall of Fame legend Gino Marchetti, this place brilliantly merged our deep love for professional sports with incredible food. Gino's brought premium sirloin burgers directly to the working-class neighborhoods of Ohio, making every family dinner feel like a celebratory tailgate party. These sprawling regional chains built the foundation of our dining habits. Yet, the true beating heart of Cleveland food culture lived inside the smaller, hyper-local restaurants that you simply could not find anywhere else on earth. Let us step inside one of these neighborhood staples to truly experience this magic. Imagine walking across the cracked pavement and pushing open the heavy glass doors of Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips on a chilly autumn afternoon. The immediate visual of those faux gas lanterns hanging above the ordering counter instantly signaled you were somewhere special, somewhere completely distinct from the usual burger joints. But it was the smell that truly captured your attention. The pungent, mouth-watering scent of sharp malt vinegar hit your nose before you even reached the cash register, mixing heavily with the warm aroma of hot cooking oil. You could hear the loud, frantic sizzle of the deep fryers, working relentlessly to perfectly crisp up that thick golden batter surrounding the flaky white fish. It was a complete sensory overload in the absolute best way possible, wrapping around you like a familiar blanket. Yet if we are talking about the ultimate, undeniable sensory memory of Cleveland, we have to transition from savory to sweet. Ask anyone outside of Northeast Ohio to pronounce the letters H-O-U-G-H, and they will almost always stumble over it. But we knew exactly how to say it. We knew it was proudly pronounced Huff's. Walking into a Huff bakery was an entirely different, almost reverent experience. The warm air inside was incredibly thick with the comforting scent of rising yeast, toasted coconut, and sweet vanilla glaze. The brightly lit glass display cases were practically bursting with visual masterpieces. You would press your hands against the cool glass, eyeing the perfectly frosted daffodil cakes prepared specifically for Easter Sunday, the sticky pecan rolls glistening under the lights, and that legendary crumbly streusel coffee cake. The anticipation would build immensely as you watched the clerk in the neat uniform so carefully fold down the pristine white cardboard flaps of the bakery box. Then came the most crucial, mesmerizing step. They would skillfully wrap that thin, iconic blue and white cotton string around the package, pulling it tight and tying it in a secure knot with lightning speed. You could practically taste the rich, sweet icing just by looking at that distinct box sitting triumphantly on your kitchen counter. If the sharp, acidic scent of malt vinegar or the vivid, comforting memory of untying that blue and white Hope Bakery string just woke up a bright piece of your youth, please leave a quick like on this video. It is a very simple way for all of us to collectively honor and genuinely cherish those beautiful, irreplaceable days together. While sweet treats held a special place in our hearts, the true lifeblood of our youth flowed through the savory late-night rituals that defined our weekends. Think back to the sheer excitement of piling into a friend's car after a thrilling sports game near Public Square. The destination was almost always Royal Castle. Those tiny, unbelievably thin slider burgers piled dangerously high with grilled onions were an absolute necessity. For teenagers growing up in places like Parma, a late-night trip to Royal Castle was practically a cultural rite of passage. You would sit there under the glowing lights, washing down a sack of greasy burgers with a frosty mug of their legendary 7-cent birch beer. That unique birch beer flavor is a taste that practically defined an entire generation of Cleveland youth. As we grew older and started going out with our own families, the rituals shifted from late-night runs to highly anticipated weekend dinner events. Walking through the heavy doors of a Ponderosa steakhouse felt like entering a culinary wonderland. You did not just order food, you grabbed a sturdy plastic tray and participated in a grand communal event. For a kid, the absolute peak of the evening was laying your eyes on that massive, sprawling salad bar. It had over 50 different items, from crisp vegetables to the rich, creamy puddings we always tried to sneak onto our plates before dinner. The sizzle of the steaks coming out of the kitchen mixed with the loud, joyful conversations of dozens of local families enjoying their hard-earned weekend out together. Then there was the undeniable charm of Rack's roast beef. If your family chose Rack's for a Friday night treat, you knew you were in for something incredibly special. The warm, thinly sliced roast beef piled onto a perfectly toasted bun was the ultimate comfort food. But these places offered something much more valuable than just a hot meal. They offered a rare moment of peace. Parents could finally sit back in those comfortable booths, take a deep breath, and let the stress of a grueling work week melt away. Kids were entertained and happy, and for a brief hour or two, the entire family was completely present with one another. There were no mobile screens to distract us, just the simple joy of sharing good food and good company in a place that felt like a second home. Every single family across Northeast Ohio had their own unique routine, their own designated table, and their own favorite weekend spot. These brightly lit dining rooms hold the echoes of our most cherished family moments. We all have a specific story locked away inside these walls. I want you to scroll down into the comment section right now and share that piece of your history with us. Tell us what your absolute brightest memory of a weekend family meal was during those days. And most importantly, tell us exactly who you were sitting next to in that booth. While the booths and dining rooms held our most private family memories, the true soul of these local restaurants was the people who ran them. Back then, you were not just handing your hard-earned cash to a faceless corporate machine. You were interacting with genuine local legends who built their empires right in our backyards. Imagine pulling up to one of those iconic A-frame buildings of Beef Corral. Walking past the thick wooden fences and stepping under the rustic wagon wheel chandeliers hanging over long wooden tables felt exactly like entering a frontier saloon. But the real thrill was not just ordering their famous Buckaroo burger or that incredible kosher corned beef on rye. If you were lucky, you might look up from your tray and see Ed or Dick Modzalewski standing right there in the dining room greeting customers. These two beloved Cleveland Browns football stars were the actual founders of the chain. For a working-class kid in Northeast Ohio, shaking hands with a local sports hero while eating a delicious Western-style roast beef sandwich for under $1 was an experience that no national brand could ever replicate. They were not just business owners, they were our neighbors. This deep sense of local familiarity extended to the people serving our food as well. Think about pulling your car into the bustling lot of Kenny King's in the West Park neighborhood. The smiling car hop who walked up to your window likely recognized your vehicle and probably already knew your family order by heart. Kenny King's was an absolute institution, famous for their massive Big King steak burgers, but they also held a fascinating regional secret. Long before major monopolies took over the landscape, Kenny King actually secured the exclusive rights to Harlan Sanders' original Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe for our specific area. For over 4 decades, this meant you could get the absolute best fried chicken in the world right alongside a premium steak burger, served by people who literally watched you grow up. The teenagers hanging out in the parking lots, the tired factory workers grabbing a quick bite, and the waitstaff who remembered exactly how you liked your coffee formed a tight-knit ecosystem. These places functioned as safe havens for the community. The neighborhood acted as a watchful, caring network. Parents felt perfectly comfortable letting their kids ride their bikes down to the local burger joint because they knew the people behind the counter were actively looking out for them. That human connection was the invisible ingredient that made the food taste so much better, weaving a layer of absolute trust into every single meal. That invisible trust we felt in those neighborhood parking lots points to a much deeper truth about what these restaurants actually provided. They were not merely pit stops to fill our stomachs. They were the essential social glue of our entire city. In a bustling industrial powerhouse like Cleveland, these dining rooms acted as the ultimate equalizer, erasing the invisible lines that often divided society. You could be a factory foreman or a bank executive, but you both stood in the exact same line waiting for a table. Perhaps no place embodied this shared civic pride quite like Higbee's Silver Grill. If you were a child being taken downtown for a special shopping trip, dining at the Silver Grill was an absolute height of sophistication. To this day, women across Northeast Ohio still get misty-eyed recalling the sheer delight of ordering the children's meal. The food arrived perfectly plated inside tiny cardboard kitchen stoves, complete with little pull-out drawers you could open to discover chicken a la king and buttery mashed potatoes. It was a masterclass in making every single guest feel like royalty. It gave working-class families a taste of true elegance, proving that high-quality dining was not just reserved for the ultra-wealthy. This profound respect for the customer extended directly to the people working behind the counter. Serving our community was not considered a disposable, low-skill job back then. It was a genuine, respected profession. To understand how seriously this was taken, look no further than the Manners Hospitality College on Euclid Avenue. The founders of Manners Big Boy actually partnered with the local community college to offer a legitimate 2-year degree in restaurant management. They were actively investing in the youth of Cleveland, transforming a local burger joint into a powerful engine for building the middle class. These establishments were the original social networks, long before the internet ever existed. The memories we forged inside those walls are fundamentally tied to the people we shared those tables with. Right now, you are probably picturing the exact friend you used to split a late-night burger with, or the beloved relative who held your hand as you walked into the magnificent dining room at Higbee's. I encourage you to send this video directly to them right now. Share this journey with those old friends so the two of you can step back into that glorious bygone era together. Before we uncover exactly what dismantled this incredible golden age of local dining, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button and join our channel. Every week, we work tirelessly to find and restore these forgotten pieces of American culture. Your subscription ensures that the beautiful, irreplaceable legacy of our generation will never be completely erased by the relentless march of time. We need to preserve these stories together because the forces that ultimately swept our favorite local spots away were massive, structural, and deeply unforgiving. The dismantling of our local food empire did not happen overnight, nor was it the fault of just one single company. The very first subtle crack in the foundation actually appeared right around 1961, when a completely new kind of restaurant opened its gleaming doors at 16910 Lakeshore Boulevard. It was the very first McDonald's to arrive in the Cleveland area. At the time, no one could have possibly realized that this single brightly colored building was the opening salvo of a massive corporate invasion. That specific fast food model would eventually wipe out the beloved family-owned diners we cherish so deeply. The entire focus of the industry rapidly shifted away from genuine hospitality and deep community connection, pivoting entirely toward ruthless industrial efficiency, speed, and mass production. Suddenly, our beloved local kings were being swallowed whole by massive national conglomerates. When a giant corporation like Marriott stepped in and bought out the entire Manners Big Boy chain in 1974, the writing was clearly on the wall for local operators. The unique regional flavors and the familiar faces behind the counter were quietly replaced by standardized national menus and a heavy focus on quick drive-through transactions. But the shift was not just economic. It was deeply psychological. As the decade came to a close, a tragic and still unsolved incident at a Burger Chef location in 1978 sent terrible shockwaves across the entire country. That horrific event fundamentally shattered the innocent illusion of absolute safety we always felt in those brightly lit parking lots. The carefree era of teenagers hanging out freely until 2 in the morning was abruptly over, replaced by a growing national anxiety and a shifting culture that slowly began to retreat behind the securely locked doors of private suburban homes. The ultimate tragedy of this era was not just the slow corporate takeovers. It was how suddenly the things we loved vanished into thin air. Take the beloved Ho Bakery, for example. On a quiet August morning in 1992, without any public warning at all, the factory doors were locked shut. In a single day, 1,000 local workers lost their jobs, and those iconic blue and white boxes were completely erased from our Sunday dinner tables. But perhaps the most profound heartbreak was the silent disappearance of Lawson's. If you close your eyes right now, you can probably still hear that legendary commercial jingle ringing in your ears telling the Big O to roll on. When Dairy Mart finally bought out the entire chain in the mid-'80s, they took away our favorite sour cream chip dip and that finely shaved chipped ham. Those were not just grocery items. They were the distinct flavors of our childhood weekends, completely wiped away by the cold hand of modern commerce. Before we bring this historical journey to a close, I want to ask for your personal expertise. Did we miss a crucial detail about the Red Barn menu or a neighborhood secret about your local Kenny Kings? Please drop your knowledge in the comments below so we can make this shared historical record as complete as possible. Today, the warm neon signs of 1975 have been entirely replaced by the sterile concrete of modern intersections. The giant red barns and the rustic A-frame buildings have been bulldozed into the ground. But the physical structures do not matter anymore. The spirit of those late-night burger runs, the undeniable freedom of our youth, and the profound human connection we shared over a simple meal still live on. They are permanently etched into the unbreakable minds of our generation, preserving a glorious piece of Cleveland history that no corporation will ever be able to take away.